Hey guys, what is up? Chris here with Cohesive Friendship Unit. Just me today. Terry Bogard's out, guys. Sakurai played through Classic mode in front of us, and 45 minutes later, we knew everything we needed to know about Terry Bogard. But perhaps a little bit more importantly, we actually got him very shortly thereafter. And I mean, I'm going to talk a little bit about the character, and I do want to talk about Fighter Pass 1 and the trend that we've been seeing with Fighter Pass 1, and I'm just curious. I want to know what you guys think about this. But before we get into everything, we are doing a giveaway at 1,500 subs. All you gotta do is be subscribed. Steam copy of the Crash Bandicoot trilogy. So if you love us, sub us. We'd super much appreciate it. And let me know down below how you're vibing with Terry and how you're vibing with the Fighters Pass 1. All right, so right off the bat, I think as a character, right? Just like as a character, Sakurai did make a good point. He said, you know, it's all about how fun the character is, not how recognizable the character is. And I agree. I do think, however, like, if there was going to be maybe not a disappointing character, but like an underwhelming character, it would be number 4, right? Got to come out with a bang with 1, and we got Joker. Got to come out swinging with 3, because it's a midway point. We get Banjo. Hero's totally fine. I think, you know, especially the Japanese crowd really appreciates Hero. As controversial as an actual character as he is, maybe Sakurai should heed his own words a little bit. But yeah, Terry, I think this was the time to get like the weird one, you know. And then number 5, I'm hoping they really wow us with something crazy. But the character, man, the character. Now I'm just gonna come out and say, like, I pretty much play Smash. I see it more as a sport. Like, I go to locals, I do commentary, and while I do like to play it as a game, I love just playing Smash. I am definitely of the more competitive mind when it comes to adding characters in Smash. And Terry is starting to show a trend that I've started to notice, and this is just something that I'm just trying to feel people out with. Let me just go over some of the special attributes of Terry Bogard, right? He's weird, right? He is always facing his opponent, which we've already seen with Ken and Ryu, but you know, it's just something that people probably aren't used to. He can attack cancel, so he can cancel attacks mid-animation to chain into another attack, which is something that we might be used to using that term a little differently in the competitive scene, attack canceling, but nonetheless, this is like official. You can counter, you can do like a counter jab with a spot dodge, so if you spot dodge and attack right after, he has a special attribute for that. All of his special, well, not all of his special attacks have up to 4 variants. He has a weak hit, a long hit, a weak command hit, and a long command hit where you have to put in extra commands. Again, we've kind of seen this with Ryu, but this character gets more complicated than Ryu, right? Then he also, because he's always facing his opponent, at least in one-on-ones, he has a unique way of doing his side special. He has a side special when he's facing the opponent and a side special facing away from the opponent. So he has the most amount of side specials, I'm pretty sure. Quote me if I'm, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. He has the most amount of side specials of any character in the game thus far. In that he has 4 variants of 2 different types, so he effectively has 8 side specials. And this is already getting overwhelming, right? Once he hits 100%, he can do a different set of input commands for different attack types and get some pretty powerful results. He can do some crazy inputs. There's also shortcut inputs that you can do to get the same results, but you have to be over 100%. These are just some of the things that Terry Bogard has, right? That's a lot. That's a lot to take in. There are percentage changes, there's spot dodge changes, there's attack canceling, there's sequence inputs, and this is something that I've started to notice with the newer Smash characters, especially the Fighters Pass characters, right? With Banjo, we had the Wonder Bird, the side special, getting 5 uses per stock. I think that makes sense. Then with Hero, obviously his down special has, you know, like 30 variants of it, and with Joker, probably the most straightforward, if not Banjo, Joker has Arsene. which you can either use Rebel's Guard or take damage or wait a long time to get that meter to fill up, and then you get a damage buff, essentially. So yeah, these characters are starting to get wild. And again, we've already talked, like, yes, Ryu has had these special attributes, Cloud has had these special attributes where there's like a limit meter and stuff. But it seems like things are starting to get a little too crazy, and I think that's detrimental for both the casual and the competitive scene. For a casual player, right, you pick up Hero, and yeah, it might be fun to just mash down B and see what kind of crazy shenanigans you get yourself into, but part of what makes Smash fun and accessible is that you can pretty much pick up any character and know how to roughly play them, right? Up special probably make you go up, side special maybe usually makes you go to the side. Stuff, you know, up smash down. It's not your normal fighting game. It's very accessible. You come in and you try to, you know, pick up Hero. If you want to even on a casual level understand him, you kind of have to know what all those spells are. If you want to get in and play Terry Bogard, there's a pretty steep learning curve. Yes, you can still do all of his normal stuff, but he's at a pretty severe disadvantage if you're not doing the special stuff to make him reach his full potential. I bet people who don't watch the direct are gonna see that that thing show up near his percentage bar, that indicator that you're over 100%, and they're not gonna know what to do with that. And on a competitive level, it causes a number of problems. Not problems, but interesting problems, I guess, where the matchups become much harder to understand. Fighting a specialized Terry Bogard is going to be really weird, right? Because you have essentially no experience with something like attack canceling or spot dodge countering or anything like that, really. I guess the closest thing to spot dodge countering would be maybe dealing with a counter. Attack canceling, some characters have like weird ways of doing that, but you're not used to that, and that can cause it's almost less like, because there's 80 characters, right? So it's less you being proficient at the game and more like, oh, that matchup burned me. And that is a strategy that people in Ultimate are using. They'll use like a relatively unknown character to make moves, and that's totally fine. I'm not saying that's illegitimate, but it makes understanding the matchup hard, and it makes choosing and committing to a character even harder, right? Like, it's hard to commit to Terry Bogard right now, right? Like, you look at that character, you're like, always gonna be facing my opponent, gotta learn these commands, gotta be able to input them like on the drop of a dime. Up to 8 variants of side special that I have to learn, figure out. That's a lot. And again, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I do think part of Smash and part of the enjoyment of Smash is the beauty and its simplicity and the complexity that you can derive from that simplicity. And the more things are kind of getting out of control, the more I question, I guess. But nonetheless, it is nice that we're getting something new, and once you hit 80 characters, yeah, you kind of have to expand a little bit. But yeah, I guess I just want to close out by saying that as a character, I think Terry, he seems to have more potential than Ken and Ryu. Just like, again, it's been hours, but just the sheer amount of stuff that he can do, and the relative weirdness that he has in particular over Ken and Ryu, I think will make him kind of be like he could be a sleeper secondary. You know, like if you're down 2-0 in a best of 5 and you need to clinch a match or something, you could, or even first match, you just whip him out. Nobody knows how to deal with him. He could work for that. I mean, it's I'm not going to even attempt to put him in a tier. We'll say mid tier right now, because I don't think he's particularly bad. His recovery's not great, but he seems like he can do some damage. But let me know how you feel about these characters and these like weird attributes that are being added to everyone. And let me know what you think of Terry. And that's all for me, guys. I will catch you next time.